Welcome to your CUNY BA community. I'm Jody Clark-Weissman, Academic Director, kicking off your orientation, which we created to help you get started on your CUNY BA journey, take you through the next steps, and to answer all your questions. So first, we always like to start with congratulating you for choosing to really make yourself special by choosing to do this program. We chose you because we know you can do it, that you're up for the challenge, and as you find out tonight, we're here to support you. So you are now officially laureates, as in baccalaureates, people honored for their intellectual or creative endeavors. So our theme is ready for takeoff to make sure that you feel ready for takeoff and excited to start this new process. As a note, we won't be sending these slides to you, but rather we created a follow along outline of themes for you to both follow along and take notes. You can fill it in digitally. We're going to be uploading it into the chat, or you can do it the old fashioned way and print it out. Tonight, you're going to learn about some special opportunities, answer your questions, and we're going to do like a traditional orientation, a little information fair where you can come to different breakout rooms for different topics to ask general questions. As we dive into some information, we just want to let you know that it's okay not to know everything. We really, along with all the airline puns, CUNY BA really is an adventure. So it's okay not to know everything. It's really expected that you're going to learn some as you go. It's a bit of a mindset shift. You're, in a way, an entrepreneur of your own education. It's about growing, about being open to learning. And my best advice is just to say yes to opportunities. You're going to meet a current student, and she said yes to every single opportunity, and you'll see all the interesting things that has led her to. So, to get you ready for landing, you have a couple of next steps. The first is you're going to assemble your team. We call that a chorus of voices to help you out, including your assigned academic advisor, faculty mentors. You could have an official one, but maybe some unofficial, maybe mentors from the field, and you have each other. Even though you might be studying very different things, maybe you have some advice about Hunter or about getting into sociology classes. So we're going to start with your academic advisors.
Hi, everybody. I am Kate McPherson, and I am the Senior Academic Advisor here at CUNY BA. I am accompanied by my counterpart, Rafal Zarowski. Rafal, I'll ask you to unmute and just say hi to everybody.
Good evening, and I'm happy to be here. And we're going to have a great orientation.
Thanks, Rafal. So at this point, you've met one of us, and we are a kind of central member of your team. We are here to guide you through the program. We are here to help you navigate CUNY and all of the kind of complexities of things like e-permit and registration and finding faculty mentors and creating and revising your areas of concentration. We're here to help you understand and keep track of your degree requirements, and we're here to connect you to different opportunities. We are a year-round full-time staff. We are available to you primarily by appointment, although Rafal and I hold drop-in office hours each week, which I believe we've shared with you and we'll share again periodically throughout the academic year. Um, it's important that you plan, that you are independent and responsible as a student. You have a lot of latitude with CUNY BA. You get a lot of freedom. But the way that all of this works is sort of on goodwill. And so we also ask you to be patient. We ask you to have some tolerance for ambiguous situations. To come to us when you need assistance, to be patient with us as we help you solve things. We will always help you find a solution, whether that's connecting you to somebody on campus who can resolve an issue or helping you ourselves. Make sure that you take advantage of the fact that we're here, that you keep us informed, and that you on the flip side of that, read all of our communications. We are, as you, I think, will see tonight, a tiny staff. And we do not have a marketing department. And so anything that we send you is really worth your time to open and read through. We do really try to send some sort of customized opportunities to our students to be mindful of the fact that CUNY is an enormous place with just more offerings than anybody can keep track of. But we have a pretty good sense of what serves our students. So I think that that's pretty much what I'd like to say. I'd like to ask you to represent the program well, as you're out there in the university, and of course to share the program with your faculty and your friends and your classmates too. Um, we will, in the theme of communication, send you our monthly newsletter. This is really a great digest of sort of everything we think you need to have on your radar. We have such an amazing, vibrant community of students at CUNY BA. I've been telling each of you as we meet that it's really important that you try to participate in our events and get to know each other and meet one another, whether it's on campus or at the Graduate Center or here in a Zoom space with us. And make connections because it's such a valuable part of the experience. We're very deliberate about community. We've always been a dispersed program, so we're really excited to be able to take advantage of virtual programming as well as in-person events with you, so that there's a little something for everybody. I will be introducing our events calendar for the semester a little bit later this evening. We have amazing doctoral fellows who participate in a lot of our programming and help with a variety of initiatives behind the scenes. And we're just really fortunate to have them on board to help support you and support the work that we do. You're going to have the opportunity to meet them through our events, but also in these kind of working sessions, these work in progress sessions that they hold throughout the academic year, where you can kind of come for a little bit of advice and feedback and academic support on things like creative projects. So, say that you're trying to formulate your research topic for a thesis, you're trying to plan an independent study, you're working on a community project. It's such a cool opportunity to use the kind of experience and knowledge of a doctoral student to get, a kind of different perspective and feedback, and advice on your work.
So we'll have Colleen, our senior doctoral fellow, jump in, tell us a little bit about the fellows. And Colleen, if you don't mind talking a little bit about signing up for peer mentorship.
Sure. So hi everyone. I'm so excited to see you, well, to meet you all virtually. I've seen some of the areas of concentration, super excited about that. So we are a team of we're six, well, actually seven doctoral fellows, and we're gonna be like organizing several parts of what can become your CUNY BA community. So you have like the work in progress sessions and many of the things that you're thinking about, like as doctoral students, we've gone through, like either a creative project, a research project. On top of that, we've had to learn how to navigate the academia in a very individualized way already. So we will be super happy to support you with that. The other thing is that you have several ways of also like be actively involved with the CUNY BA community because you're all going to be in different campuses, different classes. So it's really important for you to find moments to create community because like the best way to succeed in higher education is to have friends. And so basically you can subscribe or register for the peer mentor program, which is like a student mentoring program. It's really cool. You will be supported by a doctoral fellow who's going to kind of train students to be your peer mentor, but then you can become a peer mentor yourself. So it's kind of a smooth transition into your QDBA student life. And it's really cool for you to gain like leadership skills, but also to learn like a bit more from a student's experience, what it looks like to be a CUNY BA student. The other thing I would really recommend is for you to really like attend the events. There's going to be a bunch of events that you will find interesting. And like there are so many different kinds of events. So there will be one that will be a good fit for you for sure. And some of them are in person, and that's really a great way to get to know your classmates and everyone from the program. And finally, there's a student leadership council that's also like the kind of active student association. And so I really also encourage you to look at this opportunity to be involved in a way that's maybe a bit more like student oriented, like events and community oriented than the other formal programs. And so for all of that, you will be accompanied by, well, by me and six other doctoral fellows. And yeah, they're all extremely fun and interesting and cool and accessible, which is important. So don't hesitate to be in touch. And you will be receiving, like, we'll be in charge of doing the newsletters. So really don't hesitate to be in touch, not only to ask questions and like ask for support, but also to suggest things, events, community mechanism that you would like to see happening. So I hope this is helpful.
Great. Thank you, Colleen. We're so excited to see what you all come up with this year. So, as you begin to assemble your team, some of your next steps, your next big project is to write your narrative assignment, and I'll talk a little bit what's included in that. And this is really truly meant to just help you think through what is it I want out of my major, my concentration, what do I want to do professionally, where do my personal and professional interests sort of intersect. So you don't have to start from scratch. It's fine to take the personal statement that you wrote for when you applied, but here's just another opportunity to revisit and see if there's any new ideas that have come to you as you've looked at classes, as you've maybe taken more coursework and explored new fields. So, also, then after your narrative, I'm going to encourage you to come to the advanced area of concentration session. I run it. It tends to be a small group advisement session. You can get direct feedback from me. I'm the ultimate person that approves the areas of concentration. And then from there, you're going to find a mentor. And sort of the capstone of this house is to think about experiences that connect your different courses, whether it's an internship or a capstone course within particular disciplines, a thesis, an independent study. I was super excited to see how many people are interested in creating an independent study. But this all begins with your narrative to help you think that through. And it's a very iterative process as you go through, and you're welcome to edit your concentration as you go on. So we're going to just ask you to talk about the fields, why your concentration that you're creating is unique or a little bit different. And it doesn't have to be world changing. It's like maybe I want to focus in on something more specific, or it's missing this more holistic aspect. Tell us about your academic, personal, and professional goals, and particularly why it's meaningful for you, this concentration that you're putting together. And we're going to ask you again to think about some of those essential experiences. So, in the advanced area of concentration workshop, it's going to save you time. I'm going to take you through all the fine details. You can ask your questions. Um, Sorry, I can't read. It's so small. Get some feedback and avoid mistakes, and then find, calling it level up, find ways to enhance what you're doing with us. My advanced workshop, really, we should require it, but I know everybody's got really busy schedules, so we don't require it. But I've never had a person who came who ever said that they regretted coming. So please do come and make time for that. We'll talk about that in our schedule. From there, you're going to think about your area of concentration form. And I want you to think of your concentration form like an iceberg. And really, the concentration, those courses are just your uppermost courses. So 6 to 8 courses, depending on if you're doing one concentration or two. And that's the bare minimum. Many people do many more. And so we're assuming that the courses that are not appearing on your area of concentration form are those prerequisite courses that will count towards your degree, but not as a part of your concentration. And also know that this concentration form is a planning document, it's internal, and that those courses don't appear on any official records. We track them for your completion, but just the title is going to go on your record. I think of it, your whole education is a little bit like a tree. You have um, those top leaves are your area of concentration, but it's really filled out by electives. Some students pack in some toolkit skills courses, related courses, and of course, your gen ed requirements are the foundation of everything known as pathways here at CUNY. The form looks a little bit like this. It's just a chart with columns. If you'll remember when you applied, it's very similar to that. We have some of the most important rules here. I've got them highlighted in this orange box. So that information is right there. So that advanced area of concentration workshop is on the 14th of September, 2 p.m. You can register. We'll put the link in the chat, or there's a QR code here. Thank you, Anna. That was quick. It's in the chat. Please, please register for that. I don't, again, it's an opportunity to really go through some of the nuanced information about concentrations. And I'll turn it over to Kate to talk about faculty mentor sessions.
Thank you. So yeah, while we're talking about team building, obviously your faculty mentor is going to be a really critical member of this team, and we're here to help you in that search process. So you should absolutely join us. Rafal and I each host one session of a Finding a Faculty Mentor workshop in late September. I'm sure those are going to appear in the chat momentarily. This is going to help you think about the type of mentorship that you're looking for. What is it that you want in a mentor? Are there particular attributes or qualities that you're hoping for in a mentor? Um, your concentration and therefore your mentor are really like the cornerstones of your program. They're really central to what you're doing here. They provide disciplinary expertise. They help you kind of design, or rather, I think usually more polish than design, because you all do such a great job in your applications, and supervise your concentration, right? So your academic advisors, Rafal and myself, are here to help you keep track of all of the pieces of your degree, but your mentor is really just involved in your concentration. They're going to help us as non-experts in your field of study ensure that your area of concentration is academically valid, that it's challenging, and that it's appropriate, that you're not missing anything. For example, a research course or a kind of other supporting course. They do need to be full-time faculty members in CUNY. They should be in a relevant department with kind of appropriate expertise in your field of study. Um, and most students with single concentrations can satisfy this requirement with one faculty mentor. Every once in a while, something is interdisciplinary enough, combining two kind of disparate disciplines, and it's helpful to have two separate mentors. The same thing is true for multiple concentrations. Sometimes students have two separate concentrations that can be addressed by somebody who has, expertise in both fields of study. And sometimes it makes sense to have two separate mentors, one in each field. If you have questions about determining that, that's another way in which Rafal and I can be a resource to you. Yeah, I think I'll leave that there. Let me just see what else I want to tell you about mentors before we go. Sorry. So we will give you some of our tips on how to research potential faculty mentors. We will help you quiet your imposter syndrome. I think that there's a lot of anxiety around this process for many students. There's some shyness, there's some confidence building involved. But we know that all of you can do this. And we know that there are amazing faculty just out there kind of waiting for you. You're gonna kind of get to know how to reach out to faculty, how to connect with them, where to find them, and then how to approach the kind of meeting with them, having conversations, peeling back all of the layers to yourself as a student and your plans in CUNY BA and beyond. Um, and also ensuring that there's someone you really want to work with. I think students often feel like it's a question of getting a mentor to accept them, and we want you to find somebody who really supports you as well. I think I'll leave it there and with that, bring you a real life faculty mentor who I think I can confidently say has been a pretty amazing participant in CUNY BA over the years. So give me just a moment to tell you a little bit about Wendy Raver, who is the director for the program in religion at Hunter College, where she has taught since 1998. She's also taught at NYU, the New School, and City College. She researches comparative religions with a focus on ancient religions and ritual, but also works with religion and human rights and religion and the arts. Her academic engagements extend to interfaith America-led initiatives, alternative education methodologies, and interfaith dialogue.
Thank you. Thank you
Welcome, Professor Raver.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and welcome everyone too. So we've had in program and religion, we have a very long history with CUNY BA. I believe we were one of the founding departments and programs that were mentoring students under Barbara Sproul's leadership. And we've kept that up through the years. That was in the early 70s. But we also are an interdisciplinary program as it is, and we have classes that are more traditional, like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, but we also have classes like the religious meanings of love and sex, religion and the body, religion and film, the like eco-spirituality and such. So we also have independent studies as well too, which is very much in the spirit of CUNY BA. And we have worked with students in crafting their major in CUNY BA with our classes, but also supplementing that with independent study, because as unique learners and unique students, we know that even with our classes, they're not going to fit neatly into any box. So we have had some of the strongest, most engaging students that have really used the freedom that we've entrusted with them, because I do believe it is based on trust. And that if the students come with us with an idea, we trust the student to be able to bring this out and to, bring this to fruition. And we've had some of the most amazing projects through the years, and especially lately as well. So, and I've noticed that some people are interested in areas of sustainability and social justice and climate science and history. So these are all things that could possibly work with, like, just either our courses or independent studies with students as well. And I'm more than happy to avail myself of anything that you need. And also to take a moment, we have our very first travel abroad program that we're starting for Spain. And it's during winter session. So we welcome anyone who's interested in that to learn more about it. It's the first time in our 50-something year history that we're doing this for religion and the arts. And although it's going to be in Andalusia. So thank you very much. I'm open to any questions or anything that you have.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Professor Raver. I'm going to introduce, if it's okay, Madeline Scrace, who is Professor Raver's mentee, one of her mentees here at CUNY BA, a real live CUNY BA student, if you will. And she's going to tell you a little bit about her experience, both finding and working with her faculty mentor. But let me tell you a little bit about her before we hear in her own words. Madeline, aka Madge, is an Australian-born, Brooklyn-based interdisciplinary writer, artist, and filmmaker, currently studying to become a sex therapist. Her work primarily centers chronic vulval, vaginal, and pelvic pain. She is the writer, creator, and lead actor of MASHED, an award-winning limited television series based on her personal experiences with vaginismus. Madge continues to research and write, both academically and personally, pelvic health, intimacy, and vaginal iconography in religion. Madge, welcome, and tell your new classmates everything they need to know about mentorship and finding a mentor and working with one. Go
Hi,
for it, Shay.
welcome everyone. I actually wasn't too sure what to expect from this. So Wendy and Kate covered a lot of what I was maybe going to talk about. Um, but it's so great to be here. And yeah, as I see on the screen now, my AOC is titled Being Bodied, Faith, Sex, and Narrative Agency. But before I get into more detail about that, I'll let you know a little bit about how I got into this program and what qualifies me for a program like this. As Kate mentioned in the bio, I'm a writer, artist, filmmaker, and pelvic pain advocate. I initially graduated from the Stella Adler Studio of Acting and made a television show about female pelvic pain and sexual dysfunction. And I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life talking about the subject matter, not making the next show. So I came back to school to be a sex therapist, and it became pretty apparent early on that a traditional psychology path was not for me, given my lived experiences and compulsion to continue to blend the worlds of writing, art making, and therapy. And it was suggested to me by someone at Hunter that I apply for this program. So, my AOC is comprised exclusively of psychology, religion, English, and art classes, along with some, I know we've touched on independent studies. Independent studies have been invaluable for me in this program, and they've been specifically tailored in the realm of gynecology, kink, sexual health, religion in the body, and vaginal iconography in religion. Um, in terms of faculty mentors, I found a home very early on, an unexpected home very early on in the religion department at Hunter College. And Wendy was the obvious choice for my faculty mentor. My my advice for choosing your faculty mentor is to choose from a program that you spend most of your time in and where it's warm. And it's actually so wild that Wendy said this. This is truly my main piece of advice I was going to give, and we did not confer, was yes, choose a mentor that you trust, but perhaps more importantly, I know you have to choose someone who trusts you. You need to choose someone who like sees the vision, gets the vision, and is down to clown with whatever lights you up. Um, because if you're passionate about what you're talking about and you believe in yourself enough, it should be pretty easy for them to sign off on what you're trying to study and what you're trying to put into the world and get out of the program. Um, in terms of the program in general, the most valuable thing the program has provided me with is the latitude to evolve with and because of it. And whilst the deadlines are important and you must stay passionate and committed, the hoop you have to jump through here is wider than you think. And the area of concentration can be honed and broadened as you are honed and broadened throughout your duration in the program. For example, I came in here with the understanding that I was like looking to become a sex therapist via a non-traditional route, but narrative medicine, rhetoric of disability and illness, and Jungian psychoanalysis have become cornerstones of my work in the CUNY BA, and I absolutely did not enter the program with any of those words in my lexicon. Um, the program opened up those possibilities for me. I will also say that, as with any institution, there is still, because there has to be, there is still academic bureaucracy and tape to negotiate. Um, so my advice for that is you have to be willing to stand on what it is that makes you unique and interdisciplinary whilst adhering to systems that don't always fully get it. The hope is that the faculty mentor gets it and stands behind you no matter what. And it's the passion and the specificity that got you into the program that's going to get you through the program. So I don't know, get really good at reminding people the name of the program and uh, why what you do is exactly that. Um, yeah, I best advice being find your people, stay connected to that which is unique and interdisciplinary in you, and legitimately remember that help is available. I have demanded help at every point of curiosity, confusion, fear, and inspiration in the program. And I have received it every time. My advisor, Kate McPherson, has been my most valuable resource for several years now, and I hope she is yours too. We are so lucky to have someone like her to advocate for and show up for us as students, and I do not take the privilege of working with an advisor like her for granted. And yeah, just lastly, I graduate this semester. I have no regrets about how I've spent my time here. My next steps are looking like the Jungian Psychoanalytic Association, which I could not have predicted when I started the program. And it's entirely because of saying yes to the paths and the people that opened up during my time here. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your journey. You've done so much, but it can be a little intimidating for students. And so I like how you've just really emphasized that this is a gradual growing process for people. Um, and if you want to be like Madeline, you can really think about your integrating experiences. And so we think of this a little bit like a passport. In the center is academic engagement, but you really build out your education with other kinds of experiences, things like research and creative inquiry, study or work abroad, maybe Dr. Raver's program. That sounds really exciting. You'll have to send us information. We also have scholarships for students to do study abroad and unpaid internships, some of these activities. As you heard from Colleen, we have leadership and service opportunities. So whether you want to be a leader on your campus or in CUNY BA, sometimes we have students who do both. Those are great opportunities. And then the work that you're probably already doing or internships are another great way to round out your education. So, just to give you a couple of examples, when we look at integrating experiences that are academic, there's an e-portfolio pilot that CUNY BA is running. It's basically building a simple web page with examples of your work. We encourage you to consider capstone courses, maybe within the disciplines you're taking, or create your own sort of capstone or exploration in an independent study. You could do a research thesis depending on your home college. They tend to be 1 to 2 year projects. And we hopefully, like Madeline, will hope that you will participate in the CUNY BA Student Showcase so that you can show your work. It's just great experience. And to give you a sense of this year's senior class filled out a survey, and about 75% of them have participated in some of these activities. At least 62% did some sort of internship field experience, like a student teaching or clinical placement or other kind of field experience. 52% completed some kind of culminating senior experience. Again, a capstone course, a senior project, thesis, a recital, a portfolio. 38% participated in a study abroad program, and a third each worked with a faculty mentor on a research project or held a formal leadership role in a student organization or group. So we hope that inspires you to think about the kinds of things that you want to do. Want to briefly mention, I'm not going to go into it, but we have accelerated graduate programs. It's one of the few spaces in CUNY where you can take graduate courses.
Excellent.
And you can actually have some of those courses count towards your CUNY BA and get you a head start on a graduate degree. And I'll just shout out our newest one, and it's the only way you can get into it is through CUNY BA. It's City College's Sustainability in the Urban Environment Master's Program. So we have great web pages that you can look more at that. To encourage you to think about research or creative inquiry, you could do it for credit or for pay. You definitely get a lot out of it. Again, theses, independent study, the showcase. And if you don't know where to start, we have on our YouTube channel a little mini series on research skills. It's basically everything that we wish we had known when we were undergraduates: how to find research experiences, how to write an annotated bibliography, how to focus a research paper. Really great 20-minute videos. I think we talked a little bit about internships, but there are other options, and we're going to be hosting an internship workshop this September. And I always do every semester a Telling My CUNY BA Story workshop, which gives you a chance to think about how you explain, what's your elevator pitch for your concentration. And again, as Colleen mentioned, you can belong to campus clubs and organizations, but we have our own also student government, a governance committee, ambassadors, and peer mentors as well. So lots of leadership opportunities with us.
So we are now moving on, and I keep talking about scholarships. So here at CUNY BA, we have funding opportunities that are exclusive for CUNY BA students. So everything in this slide is only for you as CUNY BA students within the CUNY system. Last academic year, we disbursed over $350,000 to our CUNY BA students. One opportunity that I call your attention to is the first semester CUNY BA student scholarship. It's called the Barbara Price Scholarship. Once you go to our website, the CUNY BA/opportunities, which is here on the slide, and we'll be sharing the chat, and it's on the note-taking outline and everywhere in our materials. Make sure that you click on the Barbara Price Scholarship, which is for first semester CUNY BA students like you. Then we also have an opportunity for first generation students, which is the Thompson Memorial Fund. There are other field related funding opportunities, and we have funding opportunities for study abroad, undergraduate research, and unpaid internships. We also have a fellowship which focuses in academic excellence, and that is also a great opportunity because once you become a Smith Fellow, because it's called the Thomas W. Smith Fellowship, then your awards are renewable every semester. You don't have to keep applying. You're part of the fellowship and you're designated as a Smith Fellow. So there's a lot to cover. My advice is to recommend everyone to go into the website and read under each opportunity. There's a couple things I want to share with you about these. The first is that all the applications are online, and under each opportunity, you'll see a link to the application. Once you click there, once it's open within the date, you'll see you could read the questions, work on the questions, and then submit them. Because the application, let's say for the Barbara Price Scholarship, is open from August 14 through September 30. You could go there to the website now and see the questions and work on your application and then submit it, so that you don't have to rush or do it at the moment on the spot. The other important information is that you will need a recommender for all of these opportunities. Usually they will get a recommendation form online once you provide their information in the application. The one opportunity that requires a formal letter of recommendation is the Thomas W. Academic Fellowship. But just so that you know, when you open the application, you will have to have a recommender for your application. It could be, if you're new to CUNY, it could be a previous faculty mentor, or just a professor that you have worked with before. It doesn't have to be your current faculty mentor since you're all new students. Okay, and then we have next our events calendar, which shows all the events that we have prepared for you for this fall. This is actually just the first half of it. We'll send you guys an updated one as the time, September and October pass. I will highlight here the orange column where it says book talk with alumni. We have our alumna Penel Thompson, who's also the donor of the first generation of funding opportunity, September 17th. So just a couple weeks after the semester starts, we're going to have an in-person book talk for a book that she's translating from Spanish to English. So she will be there with the author and herself, and we'll have refreshments and networking. So I encourage you all to come. That will be on Thursday, September 17 at 3 p.m. at the Graduate Center. So make sure that you RSVP for that. We also have the rest of our event lineup. All of the other events listed here are on Zoom. So make sure that you scan the QR code, go to our events website post, and sign up for these. And here's the rest of our staff and a lovely picture of everyone here. I think you must met most of us, and you'll hear a video from our admissions coordinator and our registrar.
Hello, I'm Peter Altman, the admissions coordinator for CUNY BA. So happy you're all with us. I want to add my welcome and wishing you a very, very successful semester and great academic career. I want to take a moment also to ask you for a favor, actually. Please do tell other interested students or students who potentially would be interested in learning about the benefits of an interdisciplinary program. You're hearing about many of the benefits today. You probably heard a lot before you came into the program, and you're gonna find out so many more wonderful things about us as you continue your academic journey. However, not every student knows about CUNY BA, and many students could benefit from CUNY BA, and they just don't know it exists. We do our best with our outreach efforts to let students know about the program. Our strongest advocates, however, are you. Your experiences matter. You telling other students about the program matters the most. Your referral matters the most. So please help us help other students by telling other students and other professors about the CUNY BA. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great night.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Anne-Marie Doring, Registrar for CUNY BA. I may have already been in communication with some of you as I help out with admissions during crunch times. As the registrar, I deal with all things records, transfer credits, registration, e-permits, transcripts, diplomas, degree verification, and any other administrative task related to a student record. The slide on the screen contains my contact information, and our website contains my specific information. Good luck, and I wish you a successful semester. Thank you.
Welcome to CUNY BA laureates. We're super excited to have you. Really excited to see what you come up with and how you grow over these next couple of semesters or years. Welcome. Have a great night and have a great start to your fall semester. Hope to see you at lots of events.